new reaction from the family of the Duck Dynasty patriarch after A&E suspended Phil Robertson over his comments on homosexuality. The Robertsons' response is this, quote, Phil would never incite or encourage hate. We are disappointed that Phil has been placed on hiatus for expressing his faith, which is constitutionally protected right. We have had a successful working relationship with A&E, but as a family, we cannot imagine the show going forward without our patriarch at the helm. So there you have that from the family. Louisiana is where the show is filmed and the Robertsons' business is located. The state's governor has weighed in on this as well. He says that the suspension is a violation of free speech.
They all say that they're for diversity, they're for tolerance, they're for minority views and opinions, unless you disagree with them. Now, I wish what A&E had said, what they could have said was, you don't have to agree with Phil, you don't have to agree with what he said or how he said it. If you don't like what he said, flip the channel, watch another show. And that's what's so great about America.
Interesting perspective from Governor Jindal there. Joined now by Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio talk show host, and Jedediah Bila is a conservative columnist. Both are Fox News contributors. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you here today.
Thanks. Good morning.
So Bobby Jindal's saying, let the free market work. You can turn the channel. You don't have to watch his show. Nobody's forcing you to watch his show. It's a reality TV show where people are supposed to be real and express whatever their opinion is, Leslie.
Yeah, but you know what? As Papa knows, because he is a multimillionaire and has a master's degree in education, this is no dumb guy. He is a businessman, and A&E is a business. Broadcasting is a business, and advertising is a business, and that's what, as you know, you have ratings, and then you have the consumers. And this guy has not been fired. The show has not been pulled. And another thing is, I just want to see consistency. I've heard so many, on one side we're hearing, when we had things with MSNBC and Alec Baldwin and everyone else over there, Martin Bashir, Ed Schultz, it's like, fire them, don't fire them. I think we need to be consistent. The First Amendment is very clear, but then again, this is a business, and A&E is within their right, especially depending on what the contract is with this program.
It's an interesting comparison, and I understand what you're putting out there, Leslie, but to me, when you're talking about a Martin Bashir, for example, someone who's hosting a news program, their responsibility to be appropriate and to be tasteful is so different in my mind than a reality TV show where, everybody loved the fact at A&E that, these folks were real, that they were authentic, that they were Christian, that they were, carrying guns, that, the whole picture of it fit perfectly for them until he made this remark that, even family members say is coarse. So I think that you have to, sort of, the context is very important here. Jedediah?
It's also A&E knew exactly what they were getting. I mean, you can go on the internet and find clips of Phil Robertson saying these exact same things. I saw a clip last night from 2010 where he was saying these things in an even bolder way. So it's not like they were surprised. The reason that they had him on television is because he's a call it like you sees it kind of guy. He's entertaining. He's a reality TV star now because of that. So why the expectation that they would hire him for that reason and then expect him to be any different? He's a Christian. He's very passionate about his beliefs. Look, I don't agree with what he said. I don't happen to espouse the same opinion, but I will defend his right to say it. And I think it's really strange that they would hire someone knowing full well what he stood for, what he represented, and the kind of guy he was, which made him so dynamic, and then all of a sudden have a problem with that identity because they face some backlash in the community. That's not good business practices. That means that you either didn't do your research or you're a bunch of cowards, in my opinion.
I mean, this is the #1 show in this category. It's an incredibly big success. So A&E's got a lot of questions to answer, and right now they're saying that they have no further response on this. But Leslie, I'm just curious, do you think that he had the right to say it? And what action do you think should have been taken?
He has the right to say it. And regarding the MSNBC stuff, it's the First Amendment. The Constitution doesn't look at what type of programming. And as far as them being genuine, a few years ago, they looked like poster children for rich country clubs. This is a gimmick. They're very, very brilliant business people, and kudos to them for doing so, not only with the invention of Duck Dynasty, but if you look, and although I'm not a huge watcher of the program or a huge fan of the program, I get why people are. At the beginning, the religious rhetoric wasn't there so much so. And if he's going to be religious, maybe he needs a little more consistency. I think there's a little phrase called judge not lest ye be judged there. Although he's entitled to his opinion, A&E is entitled to put him on hiatus, and obviously they'll suffer the ramifications of that as they would if they had done nothing.
Instead of calling for his firing, though, I feel like this would have been a great opportunity to have this conversation, to have this debate. I didn't call for Martin Bashir's firing. I wouldn't call for his firing. I feel like these are important issues that come up. He seems to me, I don't know him personally, to be a genuine guy. This is what he stands for. He put it out there. You don't have to agree. A&E had the right to come back and say, we don't want him to represent our network. They're fully entitled to do that.
They do, and they may go somewhere else.
Exactly.
They may pack up their show and say, we'll see you later.
They've already, the Blaze has come out and said we will offer them a home. I've heard that. I'm sure a bunch of other networks would be happy to have them just because, look, they stand for what they stand for. Who cares if I don't agree? Who cares if you don't agree? The point is they are who they are, and they were great TV. That's what they're there for. They're reality TV
There's
stars.
no shortage of coarseness in the reality TV world, and we've learned that all over the place. So, Leslie and Jedediah, thank you very much to both of you. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks so much.